Hi everyone, today is the 25th of October 2025. No, I've been a bit quiet lately, but I've actually been quite sick. Um, I know I look okay, but I've just had quite a lot of things happening to myself. The toll of everything took its toll on me mentally, the stress and everything else. So I just wanted to quickly update and keep my evidence in the moment because of my court case and because of what I'm going through personally. As you know, it is a left behind case, meaning I am already my environment is contaminated and I'm being micromanaged by the public. So complete exploitation has taken place. Hence, this is the reason why historically unlawful strikes have taken place in my court cases. So I have not stopped contesting that. In fact, I've been quite sick in the last couple of weeks and still trying to go forward and just with every strength that I have to do what I need to do because no one else can actually do it for me. However, on Monday the 20th, which is only this week, I made a decision to go and see a doctor, okay, because, as you know, I have an issue with trusting the medical practitioners, obviously, because of my case and my current, my set of circumstances where I know that people aren't being totally honest. And so it's like my word against theirs, and basically it's my experience. It's helped me get this far with what I've gone through, and then also just with the discovery of historically realizing what the opposing allies are doing is so illegal, where they have coded me historically, and they're not only coding me, but they're coding individuals in your family or anybody involving in the game. Others are being branded, okay? So we're dealing with agents here. So, but these agents are actually, branding people within that may be the opposing ally because they've broken a crime. So that's the kind of thing I'm up against. I guess you all get the picture. But just for in the moment evidence, I'm just going to keep you guys updated. This is the real me today. I'm fine. I'm not really fine. I look fine, but I've actually got going through some processes at the moment to do with the cervical injury, cervical spinal injury that I suffered from the car accident that I had in 2010. I had another car accident before that, both to do with whiplash, and they were really serious car accidents where, obviously when I saw the medical practitioner going backwards, the specialist, going with all the evidence I've already shown, I definitely got the symptoms of damaged cervical spinal injury. So I'm just dealing with all the symptoms at the moment. It's giving me dizzy spells. I feel so dizzy, I lose balance, I can't walk. I'm actually bedridden, and I get a fever with it. I've got other symptoms that I get with it, and I'm concerned about it. And I have felt my neck out of joint the odd time, and that really scared me. But it's more an internal thing, and then I know I need to get it checked out properly because I am dealing with my cervical spine injury, which is actually a very serious injury. So I'm being maimed. Like I said on my other video clips, I had a reason to believe they maimed me, whoever it was. Quite obviously, I am definitely the victim of crimes. Okay, so I'm dealing with in the moment a situation where I'm being blacklisted intentionally, and that is because my discovery is the opposing allies, after they have put me through like a dehumanizing of a human being, because that's clearly what they've done with me while I was working for my employer. They code people by word, by what they say. So anyone else coming in the moment, joining the game, I don't know how it works when, people in government say their words. I know they do premeditate sometimes some of the things they say. It's just coded by words, and this is tipping off others to help them, whatever it may be, but I can honestly confirm it links to my court case. So just to update you guys, on the 20th of this month, which is Monday, last Monday, because today's the 25th, I went to the doctors and I saw a different doctor today, and he was really good, and I had to get, because I've been trying to get the disability allowance, because I know I'm entitled to. I'm not the first person who's had this issue with a disability allowance, and in knowing the laws that I do and everything else, I didn't agree with work and income, so I've appealed their decision in regards to me, going on for about, I've appealed them twice, and then I've appealed them again the third time. So I made the decision, because I did tell them that I will take work and income and join with my personal profile, because this is to do with my personal property, my profile, me as an individual. Okay, so I'm dealing with my civil rights as an individual, and this has been quite clearly a blacklisted system against myself after years of, I don't know what the government wants to call it, but in the laws it's called trafficking in persons, okay? So that's what I can actually clearly define. So I did... I thought I'd go and update all my medical records, have blood tests, okay, confirm everything. And so I did that on Monday this week. And I've also, because I just know myself, even though I look fine, but what I'm going through, it is because of what everyone is doing to me. Illegal scientific experiment, the gluing and the animation of an original. I'm the original. And this is why the unlawful strikes have come about, because it's all linking to the opposing ally and relationship scam, obviously because of all, we're talking about very serious criminal case. Okay, so basically it does link to the relationships scam, and I've been denouncing all the other relationship scams to do with the original Henry Cavill. So I think everyone knows the situation that's going on here. Okay, we're dealing with who's telling the truth. It's quite clear that my medical record has definitely been falsified. So I don't trust them. Okay, I can't trust them because everyone has been lying to me, and I know myself really. I just know me. So in between all this, I have applied for a criminal lawyer to come on in my space and take over the whole case. However, I've already made that application to the judge that I need a criminal barrister to take over my case. But at this point in time, I haven't stopped. So the next day, which was Tuesday, my doctor that saw me, he was brilliant. Okay, so he signed all the documents. My high blood pressure was at 222/150. That's actually extremely high. He was like, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like it. I knew he would panic. I knew my blood pressure was high, and I knew that he would panic, and I haven't been well, but my own self-assessment, I cannot put what I've going through, the dizziness that that's so unusual. It's nothing like it. It's not high blood pressure, although I know my high blood pressure is high. And then just the fatigue and the fever. I get a fever with it. They're all the symptoms from my cervical spinal injury. So I know I've got to keep my evidence in the moment and publicly, so I can get a proper intervention, and also it will make other people scared to even try and intentionally sabotage, because I have found that they are, just by coding, that they've coded. It's like gangs. Okay, the gangs are definitely involved in this. So because of the historical, everything's been a Commonwealth game, and everyone's just doing the movements by the coding. That is, I have never seen anything like it. I mean, as time have gone, mentally I'm healing. You know, it's been traumatic. Words can't describe what I've gone through personally, but I have never seen anything like it myself, that I know that I am supposed to be doing this, okay? Because of the coding, the twinning and the switching in the middle, okay? So we're dealing with people in the middle who, and it's, you know, that people are doing it because, you know, they've been told they can do it. You know, no one will go and purposely commit a crime if they know they're going to get caught. But I do know that they've gone and committed a crime, and then they leave the crime scene, you know. So that's what they're doing. They like in the moment do the, you know, doing the twinning, the switching and leaving, and then somebody else comes in, and that's been my personal experience with what I've gone through. So my doctor said I had to go and do a urine test, and I asked him for a pregnancy test. I asked him, I wanted to know everything that was wrong with me. I asked him, so because that's what I'm wanting, and I also wanted to get my neck checked out. So I wanted to go for a MRI scan, because I just want to, you know, finalize everything, because I know myself. And so, yeah, he gave me all that, and he told me to go to the lab and do all, you know. So we went to the lab after the doctors, and then after the doctors, the girl said, look, we can't do all these tests now, but you need to you need to starve yourself, and, you know, and then come in by 9 o'clock the next day. I said I would. Here I am going walking around, but I've got this fever that comes and goes, and I still got it. I've got it right now, even though I've kind of tidied myself up just for this video clip. I have been quite sick. However, I asked the doctor also to write me a medical certificate for the courts, because people are damaging my stuff, okay? I'm an object, and this is what they're doing. If you guys watch that movie Avatar, where everyone just attacks, that is what I have been going through personally, historically, because they are breaking the laws, breaking in. They're using their friends and their families just to do the damage and have access and then run off, okay? That is what they're doing. And that's been what's been happening to me historically. So I know very well it's not my fault. So I just got to persevere with this until it's all finished properly. But so what actually happened is that I went there straight after the doctor. I got served at the counter. Keeping in mind, they know who I am. They're stalking me. They're following me everywhere. Okay, so anything to do with me, wherever a victim has gone through, all that is questionable. Everything is a crime scene, okay? So what happened was she said, oh, look, you either can do some of the blood tests now and everything and come back tomorrow, because I had to starve before they can do the other blood tests that I need to not eat, so for a certain time. So I said, oh, look, how about I'll just come in the next morning and I'll just do everything at once. So I did that. I was served by an Indian female, and she told me what to do, and then I left, and then I got a text from my doctor the next day, and it didn't say anything much other than everything's okay, and that's it. Apparently just mentioned 2 things. I did my research. I don't believe them, because I know myself. So that was it. Then I got another text. This time it was to say I had an appointment the next day to go into the doctor's, and I texted them back and I said, look, I didn't make a doctor's appointment. The doctor didn't say for me to make a doctor's appointment. However, I must mention my doctor did want me to go to the hospital for a full check when I saw him on Monday. I really liked him. I think he just made me feel safe, and just getting a second opinion too. And I felt I could trust him too. So with that, he did sign all my my disability allowance thing because he felt I qualify. In fact, he felt that it was more I needed medical alert with the kind of blood pressure I had. And I told him that I don't take high blood pressure, and he says, "Oh, but you need to go." Like I would admit you to a hospital right now because it's that high, and because I've been kind of worried with the dizziness and stuff, and I still see, I know I don't take them, but he still prescribed me the pills anyway, because he was like panicking, and I could tell he was concerned. I knew I was concerned too, but anyway, so just on that note, I am taking the tablets because I do trust them, and I feel like I will take it for now. And so I have taken it, but I said to him, well, I can't, if I go to hospital now, I've got all these things that I've got to do that no one else can do, meaning my court case, So with that, I'm keeping that in mind, but he has actually doing a referral for me to do an MRI scan and to see somebody to look at a specialist to look at my neck. But I had to go away and choose the person for the referral, which I did for his sake. Why I'm doing this is because it doesn't matter what I do personally, it's not personal. Someone is following me, collecting my information. So there's, and this is a historical thing, okay? And I feel exploited because somebody else, it's like other people are collecting, I don't know who they are. So I got a text from the same doctor's surgery to come in for an appointment. Even though I didn't make one, I thought, okay, well, I need to go to the High Court anyway, so I might as well go in and check, see if I had an appointment, because I know I didn't make one. So I went in, and it was confirmed that I didn't make one, because there was none there for me because I didn't make one. My concern was the texts, right? This is an ongoing thing. We're supposed to rely on everything on the government with their texts and their apps and stuff. But what I'm finding is other people are sending texts to me, or the phone calls, they're saying they're from WINZ and they're not actually WINZ. Okay, that's my concern. That's acts of tourism. That's why I know what I'm going through is over and above serious. The trickiness of it, the twinning and the switching, linking to the misuse of devices and the proxy hacking. Okay, so I'm being glued. Then this is where they got one person to do something, do the damage, delete, and then the real people who initiated whatever it is, the perpetrators, take off, and then they cover up. Okay, then the new staff come online, they cover up, or they don't know what you're talking about. That is what I'm going through, and because of all that historically, it's taken its toll on me. It's just like too much. Like, I tell the truth, I do all these honest things, and they steal it. Okay, it's quite serious. But anyway, so another lady came out, took me around the back, and she said, showed me how the admin stuff work, and they said, somebody from admin might have sent you that text, because I said I was going to go and make a police report about it, because these are the kind of things I've been complaining to the police about it. But unfortunately, they're all at fault in my case. I don't care what excuse or reason that the New Zealand police is at fault according to the laws, okay? So, because I even asked them to investigate the pregnancy thing back in, there are exhibits about all that in court. And, so everyone is just like ignoring it, and so anyway, I'm going with it. I will soon find out everything, and I will confirm everything with you guys when I'm ready. But however, what actually happened was that I had decided to go in and check. It turned out that somebody else had made a mistake and sent that to me, obviously. But what my concern is, that in the middle, everything. Okay, they're following me everywhere. They're copying everything I'm saying, and they're gluing. So we're talking about, the twinning, everything that I've put on my social media, the posts and everything. That is my personal experience as a individual, the original, who is being animated. The thing is, the proxy hacking, they're doing it to people's families. They're doing it to your children while they're at school. That they're doing it, like even the government and these cultures, the other cultures, they're pretending it's them when it's not them, but they're actually stealing. If you know what I'm saying. So it's a criminal case, and it is what you call a conspiracy according to the laws. Anything that is not the original, anything that is pretending, and that's why I've been denouncing Natalie Vasquiso and her imposter, because I've got all the consent from Henry to do that, and I have been doing. We are very close, okay? We're so close to each other, but I just know that God has used our relationship to open my eyes up to everything that I have gone through, meaning everything about me has to be undone, and that is what I'm up against. I'm up against the government and the people and other cultures, and then all their treaty. I have nothing to do with the treaty. I'm not Māori, I'm non-Māori. I'm just an original plain person minding my own business, but other people, they've animated me while I was working for my employer, right? That is what is wrong here. And that is why New Zealand Police, IPCA, are in very serious trouble, because they perverted the course of justice and impede rescue, hence why there's so much things that big cover up, everyone's trying to cover up because they don't want the truth to come out. Well, unfortunately, I'm dealing with my life, my liberty, and my right as a woman, and everything that I am. I have that right to challenge that legally and publicly. So on Thursday this week, I did go into the courts, and I went to the courts and I got unlawfully detained. Gets more interesting because I had a pocket knife on my key ring, and I walk around like not being surprised because I feel so victimized. They're fault finding me and abusing me, or sometimes I feel that they're provoking a reaction, trying to provoke a reaction. I know they're going to say no, and they all know they're going to say no. So everything's intentional. So the odd time is like, this is ridiculous, it's like I can't get out of this. I can't go forward because I'm blocked and everyone's lying to me, or they're giving me misleading evidence. So I went on Thursday this week to the courts, okay, and they unlawfully detained me, or they say, oh, you've been unlawfully detained, because the lady at the security said, okay, what have you got this for? I says, I am a woman on my own. And I said, I think I might have said, I wasn't sure because I was nervous, and I was nervous and angry. Okay, I try and contain my because I'm angry at what they're doing to me, because I feel like they're always assault and battery, always picking on my faults and trying to create evidence under the camera. That's what they're doing, okay? So when people react, they think, oh, see, she's just nothing but they're actually abusing. It's actually assault and battery, and everything is intentional. So just coming from another angle of abuse, okay? Anyway, they called a police officer to come, and then they asked me about it. I said, look, I've brought that pocket knife before the court. They've taken it off me, and then let me take it back when I leave. So I felt they were just picking on something to have on me. But, these are the kind of stressful things that I have to face on my own. Anyway, they let me go, and they said, what are you doing here? And I said, I'm here because, like every other time, to come and submit documents. It's also a tactic because they don't want me to put my documents through the courts. They want to know in advance everything I'm doing. So that is what they're doing, okay? They're not only coding, they're copying, listening to everything I'm saying. It's a victimization, okay? It's illegal. But anyway, so what happened after that, the police officer, they were very nice about it. And I said, I'll try not to have an attitude because I'm going through some pretty big stuff. And I really am, because what the public and everyone's doing to me is causing me stress and that, and it's causing, that is why I'm having issues with my blood pressure and everything else. It's because it's like they've used me like a ball, making me repeating, and they're mocking about it too, even though they're slowly diminishing, because I think obviously the right people are now believing me and doing their job. But so what happened, I was served by another the lady at the counter. Her name was Angela. I told her that I had been trying to contact the courts twice. Now, in between, it's like one court case after another court case, and then I've been sick in between, like literally. This is even telling the courts and the judge my situation is really bad. I've expressed to them, the sufferings that I've been going through. And, I find that really appalling and disgusting that a victim is actually asking the judge and the courts for help, and all they do is sabotage, because they also know that it's getting recorded, okay? And they also know that I've gone public. So, but anyway, I'm updating everyone up in the moment. So I was served, they said, oh no, you can't. I said, I sent the email to all the Crown in the case, and I sent the email to the team leaders and to the case officer. But today I'm only I had to handwrite everything because somehow my laptop is not working, a battery is flat, and they know that. So these are the kind of things I'm going, nothing is coincidence with me, okay? They have access to everything I'm doing. I turn my back, and then somebody does something and will go into my space. I just know it, okay? This is, if you all notice, I walk around with a bag and I carry my laptop everywhere, stuff like that. I shouldn't even be doing that, but I can't do that because that is what they're doing. They're doing proxy hacking. They're hacking into my laptop when I turn my back, and whoever they have access to come into my home. They're basically studying me like some kind of animal. It's like I'm on home detention, like I've committed a crime or something, but I don't know what I've done wrong. But that's what it feels like. But they've taken my liberty away, but it's not one thing to take somebody's liberty away, but it's another thing to abuse them and steal all their work and delete and making them live in limbo. And that's what they've done to me historically, okay? And a lot of people has gone along with the game, not knowing the seriousness of what's actually behind it or who is actually initiating it, and that it can actually backfire on them and their families, because you're dealing with people. This game is public, and it's definitely global exploitation. We're dealing with people, millionaires and billionaires and singers, okay? I know some of them are at fault, and they're flying and they're coming into the country somehow, or they're using their people just to try and find out information. Then they're doing songs with lyrics. So that is what they're doing, and then they're covering up for them. They help them escape, and that's what they're doing in my space. And then they lie to me, but they're actually helping them get away after the accessory, after the fact kind of a thing. But they tend to, they call themselves shadow people, whatever. Okay, so on that day I went to court. I'll put this up on Facebook, guys, and but because my laptop's not working at the moment and they know it. But I thought I'm going to keep this for safety reasons publicly because I need that proper intervention. So what's actually happened was that I was served by somebody, Angela, at the counter, and then she said, "Oh, Asito, can I please speak to your manager?" There's always no one available, okay? But it's all intentional. And so she went and got another manager, a team leader. She was Indian, and I explained to her the situation, and then she says, "Oh no, you can't." She wouldn't accept my documents. They had a medical certificate in there to let the judge know that I'm, my health. I can't. I like sometimes some of these court cases I have been really sick, but I've just been pushing myself. But recently it's just been too much. I've just keep getting this fever that comes and goes. And it's nothing. I know I've done my research on cervical spinal injury, and I believe it is definitely my neck because or the fever. This says you get fever and dizziness. I just know, and I get sharp pain when I turn my neck to the right. I can feel it. So I'm going to get all that checked out. Okay. But my concern about my court case is that I've asked the courts to get a criminal barrister to take over my case, but they're not. And I will finish this video clip and I'll show you the medical certificate that the doctor wrote for me. But my concern is the lying and withholding information from me, and also they are inciting. We're talking about the underworld, we're talking about mafias, we're talking about them globally attacking innocent civilians, and the government is involved in it. I don't know why they want to call it. When I realized they've actually coded me, I had no option but to start denouncing what they were doing. But it also confirmed to me why I couldn't go forward. Okay, and I knew I was at risk. I could just disappear from the face of the earth. These people have just gotten away with millions and millions of money, stealing my identity historically. But it's the whole idea they don't want. I mean, we're talking about people in hierarchy calling themselves agents. Okay, and I've caught them out. I've caught out wins so many times. I mean, it's I noticed that it's $1 million for a privacy breach, but my kind of situation, my privacy is already gone. They know who I am. They've studied me while I was working for the Ministry of Justice. I'm telling you, that's where it started. And then they linked themselves to my family. And then the white supremacist extremists are actually grooming other cultures to go against other cultures. That is the Commonwealth game that I find really concerning. So the people that you were once really good friends with end up turning on you because it becomes a Commonwealth game. And then that's quite obvious. And so, and they're mocking about it, and they think it's funny. Their ads on TV, and the horror about what I have found with this whole thing that they've done to me is that they're branding the defendants, okay, and they're inciting to help the defendants, not help the victim. Hello? What's the purpose of having a court? Okay, and we're dealing with two-faced criminals. We're dealing with motive and intent, and we're dealing with whether it's honesty or integrity or premeditated organized crime. And I'm telling you, everything about me and with the people that have been used by the other perpetrators, it's not accurate. And that's why I have contested the the documents, and I was meant to put in a cost application for New Zealand Police. I tried to ring the courts. They won't put me through to their extension. They've locked me out. Okay, so they're using people within my environment like a shield. Okay, so that's what's happening. People, like, there's like few layers there, but they're using the call center as a shield. They're texting people so they know you're going to come, and then they lie to you, or they put somebody in experience to frustrate you because they don't know what, and they know that I'm repeating myself, and they're making their ads on radio like a mockery, like it's funny. Okay, and so yeah, that is my situation at the moment, but I will finish this video clip. I'll show you the doctor's medical certificate as evidence. But with work and income, I've taken the appeal to the next level. I also got a letter from somebody I think her name was Liz Edward. She had sent me a letter to say that my disability allowance appeal has been withdrawn because I don't qualify. I withdrew it because I don't qualify. And I'm like, hang on. I just saw somebody this week about it, and we went over it, and she told me, and that was, yeah, I saw a really experienced case officer. I was really happy with how she walked me through, made me understand from the work and incomes mindset where they put the disability allowance when people qualify or they don't qualify, even though they've got medication, medical records, even though they do have a disability. Work and income is not giving it to some people. Okay, so I have sat down with a very experienced case officer, and I was really happy for her to explain to me where they were coming from. But I've looked, compared to my case, they would not win if this went to court. Okay, because my doctor has actually said, the one that I saw this week, and he's new on board. It's not my other doctor that I used to go to because she wasn't available, but my other doctor I went to today, he was really worried about my health, and because I felt like I could trust him, I started taking the high blood pressure tablets because it was pretty high, and I haven't been feeling well. I thought, okay, I might as well just try it, go with it, because I know I'm not well. Okay, I'm walking around with a fever, comes and goes, and I've got all the injuries, the symptoms of the cervical spinal cord, because I've had 2 car accidents. So I want all that confirmed, and also kind of made me scared also of how serious my situation really is, because I know that both of those car accidents were both hits, okay, and I couldn't do anything about it. And so my health and my sickness is not because of anything to do with me personally. They've been the cause of the cybercrime, and my situation is quite clear. People have tried to kill me. They poisoned me at work. So I wanted a criminal barrister, because it's my right to know. It's my right to confirm everything that I'm saying. I want them to investigate all my blood tests and confirm my neck. So I am going to go through all that because I wanted to update the judge with everything, and I'm going to do that. But the courts are just like, it's like I'm giving them all this work, all my documents, and it goes nowhere. Then you go to the courts, you're presenting your case, you're telling them the truth, and then they do the opposite. And they're using me for relationship scams, and that's why I've been denouncing Natalie Viskiso and her imposter. I'm sorry, Natalie, and people like you. That is illegal in my world, okay? In the criminal laws, that is illegal. To live somebody else's life and gaining benefits of somebody else's hard work, and and then they're fighting for their life and somebody's trying to kill them secretly. That is what you call a conspiracy. So that is what I'm up against, but it is global and it's dangerous and it is serious. Okay. So I will update you. I have heard. I did that. When was it? Thursday. I went to court, and the registrar wouldn't take my documents over the counter because I couldn't scan it in. But I've got copies of everything. It doesn't matter. Everything I say and write, it's all evidence for whichever jurisdiction all this goes through. Okay. But the other thing I'm concerned is that the Commonwealth game involves big countries coding each other by, I know exactly what words you're using too, all right? And I know the objects and the animals you're using too to help each other and so to help, and then everyone comes into my space and steal. Well, unfortunately, in the criminal world, that is what you call a conspiracy. It's appalling. Even to know it as a sport, that's just pure evil. It's pure evil. People want to make money for free out of other people's intellectual property, out of other people's hard work, and then it's just so wrong. So what happened on that day is she refused to take my documents over the counter, the team leader. She said her name was, she was talking nicely and kindly, and I said, well, can I see someone? Like, there's never anyone higher up. I've been trying to contact, I sent the email to the team leaders and for civil. No one returned anything. And then she says, oh, your appeal is late. And I said, well, nobody returns any of my email. And then I come in and you tell me you won't take my documents. I says, look, I actually want these documents to go to a new judge to have a look at, what I want. But she wouldn't take them. Okay. That is what you call perverting the course of justice. When people at the counter refuse to take somebody's document that's not even actually for them, it's for the judge. But these are the kind of things I have gone through historically. And then today, being Friday, it's actually today's Saturday, yesterday, they sent an email from the judge, Sussex, to let me know that IPCA and New Zealand Police have won, okay? So I sent them an email, all of them an email, and I said, and the medical certificate, and I told them that I came in on Thursday, okay, with some documents because of my situation, and the Indian female wouldn't take it. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not biased or prejudiced. I have Indian family that I grew up with that were very good to me. So I'm not talking on behalf of all of them, but this is where I'm saying that the white supremacists are using other cultures against other cultures. That is what they've done to me. Okay, and people have looked at me like an object, and they've sabotaged my court cases. And this is why judges writing. I can't speak for them. If they did their own investigation, they would be investigated individually and according to the law. So that was on Friday. I received an email. Okay, so I did send them all an email and letting them know, and I sent the medical certificate and letting them know that I had documents there, and I've been sending, I even had the emails to prove that none of the courts are responding to I had put in a memorandum, okay, I'd put in a memorandum for the judge to, I'd appealed like my cost application I was in the middle of doing it, and then I got sick, and then my laptop, mysteriously had an issue with it when it was okay, and like it's my word against them, because I'm not convinced that things, but this is the kind of thing I'm going, these people are destroying my life intentionally to steal and to help other people, okay? It's all about money, and that's what it is. It's a Ponzi scam. All these cultures, it's all about the money, their reputation, but they're doing it the wrong way. It's what they're doing is actually a conspiracy criminal case. So I did notify the courts and sent the proof of the medical certificate. My doctor wrote that I can't work, I can't do anything for 4, because I just felt I can't do it because of the mental injury that I get every time I do the court case. I get this head rush across my head. I can't even explain. I've already tried to explain it to the other doctor that I saw, but it's a traumatized injury from repeating the court case, over and over and over, going back to the crime scene, things that are actually traumatizing and real that I want to forget and go forward. And the only reason why I haven't stopped is because I'm dealing here with my reputation. I'm dealing with my life. And there's no way. I will fight this till it's wherever jurisdiction it ends up in. I want those things. Those documents, those judgments are forever. And that's why I'm doing YouTube, because YouTube's forever. It's also my evidence. But they've discriminated me purely because of a corpse, okay? Hey, everybody gets old. You're going to get old too one day. But that's not what this is about. For me, I think it's disgusting. It's repulsive. It's inhumane. And words can't really explain how repulsive it really is. Even to think that, that they would even get away with what they've done and what they've done to me, because I just know that's not going to happen. So with that, I'll just turn this off now, and I will show you the medical certificate.